weekend, 11-0 across the board. 5-0 sweep yesterday in the NFL. 5-0 between John and I in college football, and had a nice little big dog winner. Arizona Diamondbacks game 1 plus 180 blowout from the first inning. Huge weekend. We got a big week coming up, guys. I got Monday Night Football tonight. A couple of playoff games. Gonna get into it. John, absolutely red hot. Couldn't have been better. I mean, I guess we could have gone 12-0, but can't be choosing that.
I'm going to flex. It really couldn't. This is a dream weekend. It starts very limited baseball this week. Last week, we had very limited games. Going into the weekend, I think we had 3 bets. Hearing it from the members. Oh, what did I sign up for? We don't bet just to have entertainment. We bet to win. So we didn't see a lot of spots. With that, I had some time to finally look at a little college football. It is not my thing. I always tell everybody, stay in your lanes. Now, I used to do college football years ago. Out of the entire card, I just looked at one game. That was the Red River rivalry, and I just could not see the number. And we took Oklahoma plus 5.5, sent that out early Saturday morning. Literally 15, 20 minutes later, the game was down to 4. That was the right side, and we were never behind. Oklahoma getting points. We struck first, and we're never behind in the game. Just the way you want to win it. Take that into our night game. Well, then Ben hits his four college bets for a perfect 5-0 college card. And then we got our baseball game, taking a big dog against the Hall of Fame pitcher against the LA Dodgers, and 6 in the first, 6 off Kershaw before he gets the second out. He's out of the game. So, I mean, you could want an easier breeze to Saturday. Ben had maybe a little bit of sweat with the Louisville total. Louisville buried Dame so bad that total got close to going over, but he catches the total there. So Saturday, an absolute blowout, and then we come back yesterday, 5 for 5 with NFL. And the guys, the year that we're having in NFL is now it's ridiculous, over 75%. So it's another 5-0 week. The Steeler game couldn't call it any more perfect. We get the Steelers and under. Trailing 10-0, and Pittsburgh D, they just turned it around. They didn't score anymore, Baltimore, and take a 17-10 win, catching the total and the side. Our Cincinnati Bengal bet Monday, I don't know if it was on the podcast or our Instagram Live, we bet Cincinnati Bengals minus 3.5. First thing Monday morning. And the line started to move against us. And I wondered, was Burrow out? Because there's no way in the world I could see how the line could possibly move against us. I knew we were going to probably be without Higgins. But regardless, this was a game that as Bengals absolutely needed. So that line went against us a little bit. Did it matter? Cincinnati fell behind 14-10. But after that, second half just turned it around. Burrow, he made the statement. He felt as better, as good as he felt all season, and he finally looked at they turned it around. I'm watching another game go against us right now, so I'm a little distracted. Early in the week, we get our bets out there early, so we have a little competition. You don't want to go against me right now. That's all I can say. We also sent out 2 college bets because, once again, as we get to this part of the season, our baseball is a little bit limited. You got 2 games yesterday, you got 2 games today. I'm not going to have bets every day in the baseball. Right around the corner, guys, NBA, one more time. If you have a DraftKings account, you must be ahead to beat the Bookie member. What we do to NFL, we do to college football, we bury the NBA. So, a great weekend. You couldn't want to be a member at a better time. At the end of baseball playoffs, NFL, college football kicking in on a great weekend from Ben. Also take a bow, Ben. And here we come, NBA right around the corner.
Yep, NBA 2 weeks away, guys. And for the members, like John said, these next 2 weeks, during the week, a little bit less bets with baseball slowing down. But once NBA gets going, I mean, the rest of the year pretty much going to be very busy. A lot of action day in, day out. So make sure you guys sign up now. Don't miss out on that. Obviously, a big NFL Sunday for us, 5-0. That makes it 29-9-1 on the NFL season. Absolutely crushing it. But let's talk about some of what happened yesterday outside of what we bet. How about them Cowboys getting absolutely demolished? And San Francisco, I mean, we already knew San Francisco was above and beyond the best team in the league, but they just made sure everybody knew San Francisco was the best team in the league, and that wasn't even close. Got to love Dak Prescott's 3 interceptions there. That's what it comes down to. I mean, Dallas's defense pretty solid. I mean, they got exposed yesterday, got beat up by, Kyle Shanahan, explosive offense, but still pretty good defense. Offensively problematic, and we saw it yet again on display with Prescott, and just brutal game last night from the Cowboys.
49ers, they're just head and shoulders above everybody right now. Going into yesterday, there was some question. I had San Francisco as the best team, but just some question of how much better. But they're light years ahead of the Cowboys. Have actually dropped the Cowboys, in my opinion, after yesterday. Because we had said it, I guess, I don't know if we said it here on our Instagram. We talked about the Cowboys. What have they done? Yeah. Well, they beat a hapless Giant team week 1. They beat the Jets week 2, who had played on a Monday night, lost Aaron Rodgers, went into Dallas. It was a no-show. So they beat them. Then they go and lose to Arizona. And then they beat New England. You say, they beat New England. But then you see New Orleans go and destroy New England at New England. So how good was that win? So really, what has Dallas accomplished? Not much. I took the Phillies up a notch yesterday. A nice win going at L.A. They're expected to beat them, but Rams get Cooper Kupp back. Boom, this kid doesn't miss a beat. 8 receptions, over 100 yards. But they get the job done on the West Coast. So I've got Philly just above Dallas in that NFC. So it's San Fran by himself, Philly, then Dallas. Buffalo, this team just doesn't deal with success. And, man, they're going to have their problems. Now they're going to lose Milano for the year, their linebacker, one of the better linebackers. Lost Tre'Davious White the week before, one of your better corners. That defense takes major hit. I'm dropping them down. KC just wins, baby. That's it. They should be getting the Raiders. Just win. Get it done. They don't cover all the time. They're not flashy. Kelsey's dating Trevor. What's her name? Whatever they're getting, they just win. Kelsey banged up. Looked like he had a problem. Slamming the helmet. You thought this guy was not only hurt for the game, you thought maybe a couple of week absence. This kid comes back, finishes the game. Now, quick turnaround for this Thursday game against Denver. So do they sit him, give him a little rest going into the showdown against the Chargers the following week? But that remains to be seen. But I got Chiefs and KC right there. Got to give maybe a little bit of an edge to the Chiefs just because they've done it. Buffalo has it. So Buffalo now have their work cut out for them. They're lucky to get a cupcake coming into Buffalo Sunday night. The Giants probably without the quarterback, so they should be able to tee off on that, get themselves right. And they got Miami, the 3rd best team in the AFC. Bengals are starting to come up. Burrow looked right, but they've still got to be up. They've got to be a distant 5th, I would call it, because I've still got the Ravens rated the 4th best team, Ben. They looked terrible yesterday against the Steelers, but they always look terrible against the Steelers. Tomlin owns them, and that's just the way it is. We'll see who they are when they go out to London this week. They got a little healthier, so I've got them as the 4th best rated team. And over NFC, the 4th best team for me, Detroit Lions.
Just gonna bring that up, yep.
This year. Now they're not in that top echelon, but they're that next best team. They're a team that's on the rise. Pretty much what I looked at it. Yesterday, the 49ers just making their statement. Burrow making their statement. We're back. I'm back. Chase, throw me the damn ball. That's what John said years ago. This guy said, I'm open every play. He's open every play. Just throw him the ball. That was a ridiculous day by a wide receiver. So they look much better. The Jets, is this kid getting any better? I don't know. Or is it just Denver's defense that bad? Denver got some defensive guys back. Jewell, the linebacker, Simmons, the safety. Even with that, had a nice little day for himself. That's a couple of nice days in a row. Not great, but serviceable. You put that along with that defense, they're not threatening anybody, but they're not one of the worst teams in the league. We'll see how all of that goes, Ben. But, yeah, quick little look on what I saw yesterday. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, Detroit. I'm interested to see. I mean, obviously they had the opening night Kansas City banged up, and since then they haven't really had a tough game yet. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they really don't have that many tough games. They only play, top teams the rest of the year. They get a game against the Ravens, they get a game against the Cowboys, and they have one against New Orleans. That's about the best teams they face. They still have 2 games with the Bears. They get a game against the Raiders. They're going to see Denver again. They're going to see Minnesota twice. So Detroit has a chance to have a really good record just based on schedule alone, and they're taking care of business. We're going to be interested to see once they start to get some more of those top teams in there, like a New Orleans defense, what they're going to look like. Because obviously week 1 against the Chiefs, bit of different, a little bit of Super Bowl hangover. Obviously they have the Kelsey and Jones injuries and issues there. So interested to see Detroit against the top team. But, hey, they're taking care of business against the bottom teams in the league. They're doing their part. Another team we haven't touched in on, New England. My goodness. I mean, we knew they were bad, but wow. 2 games in a row. Absolutely shell-shocked. Did not think we'd expect to see that from them at home in that one. Luckily, the under still cashed. No problem. How about those Saints unders? What is it now? 14-1 the last 15. Yeah, New England, new levels of bad. And, we saw Zappy for, a couple of games last year. Looked solid. He's kind of come in now in garbage time. These last 2 blowouts. I'm interested to see if the Patriots actually just go that route and see what happens. It can't be worse. Can't be worse than what they're getting.
Cannot be worse than what they've done these last 2 weeks at Dallas and then at home. Put 3 on the board at Dallas, getting blanked. Thank God. That's a game that we had under. Should have been a breeze. But offense helping the defense, helping the Saints defense score. But yeah, just watching some baseball move, and as usual, both dogs getting some action in this baseball game. When we turn to get this baseball, I guess we'll start with the football game tonight. Then we'll come back to baseball last. Just noticing some dog money for both the dogs here, as pretty much every day in the playoffs.
Yeah, let's talk about this Monday night football game, Green Bay at Vegas. Spot-wise, I mean, it's all Green Bay. You have Green Bay going Thursday night to Monday night, so the extended rest, big factor there. This Raiders team, obviously having a little bit of struggles here. They're coming off a tough loss against the Chargers. Garoppolo, who did not play, he's coming back. O'Connell was absolutely obliterated. I mean, what was it? Khalil Mack had 6 of their 7 sacks. Just a ridiculous day there. Vegas, what are you going to get here out of Jimmy G? Obviously, Jimmy G had the benefit of the doubt playing with the best roster in football the last couple of years in San Francisco. Been a little bit bumpy here now coming back. Weird game here for Green Bay. They didn't look good there against the Lions. What's Jordan Love going to be able to do? That was his first really bad game. Couple of interceptions there. Started having some issues there. And he really hasn't put together a good 4 quarters yet. He's had a couple of good first halves, couple of good second halves, but really hasn't put together a full 4 quarters. As far as Vegas, they're not rushing the ball as much. I mean, Jacobs last year goes out and obviously leading the league in rushing, 65.5 yards per game on the ground. We'll see if they can compete here. We'll see how Jimmy G looks. Adams, who had a banged-up shoulder, we'll see how bad he looks. This is a Packers team that's been playing banged up last couple of weeks. Now you get the extra rest. Just lean a little bit here to Vegas. I was impressed with how they looked defensively against the Chargers. Yes, the Chargers were banged up. But still, I mean, you look at what they have quarterback, wide receiver wise. I mean, Herbert, big edge over Love. Keenan Allen, big edge over any receiver you want to name from Green Bay here. And Jones still banked up. This is a slightly to the home team here in Vegas, but spots just a bit more to Green Bay. Obviously, no bet here on this one, but lean to the Raiders if I had to get involved.
And my lean would have to be the other way. that extra rest is going to be big. Green Bay got waxed last Thursday by the Lions at Lambeau. That doesn't happen. They've been better actually on the road, going 3-1, 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 road games. Health-wise, that's always a key, guys. Football, got to see what the injuries are all about. Green Bay could be getting healthier today. They were wiped out Aaron Jones came back, but was only on the field for 20 snaps his last game. He had missed the prior two, so we expect to see him to get a little more involved in the offense. Watson, the wide receiver, that was his first game of the year. Again, expect him to step it up. They've lost Bakatari. He's gone for the season. This guy's just been, was one of the great offensive linemen, but last few years, just too many injuries. He might be done. They'll get Jenkins back. He missed last week, so they get their offense getting better, getting healthier. Defense-wise, they're still going to be without the linebacker Campbell. Are they going to get Alexander back? You want him back. You've got a guy that they know well on the other team, Devontae Adams. Somebody's got to at least keep him in check so he doesn't go crazy. So it's the Green Bay secondary with Alexander, Stokes, and Ford. Those are the three question marks, and that's what I'm looking for. If those guys are playing, my lean is going to be to Green Bay. Garoppolo, you guys know, coming off the concussion, he missed a week. Green Bay, extra rest, getting a little healthier. Just don't like the way Vegas has been playing. They have not scored more than 18 points in any one game this year. I think Love can get the job done against that Vegas defense. If his defense is healthy, my lean will be Green Bay.
And we'll see how some of those injuries end up shaping up. As you guys know, how to beat the Bookie members, you guys will be updated on the app and website. Make sure you guys continue to check that out. Let's talk about MLB playoffs. So Minnesota yesterday, they get a win there over Houston. Dogs kind of barking a little bit here in the division series. Obviously, game one for us with Arizona. Nice little cash there. Missed out on Philly. Suarez goes in. Not perfect game, but a perfect outing. What you could ask for his situation. Braves kill lefties, didn't matter, and get a lot of help out of the bullpen as well. Phillies, just this time of year, it's what they do. It's a good team destined for playoffs. You look at these two matchups we have going today, Braves and Dodgers. Over the last 6-7 years, a couple of the best records in baseball, but when it comes to this time of year, just have their downfalls. And you add in some of the pitching injuries both these teams having, how are they going to shape up in this series? As far as the other AL matchup, Texas and Baltimore, that is one to set at the start. Texas, obviously, they have their slew of pitching injuries, really banked up. Baltimore, if you guys saw the video I made after the deadline, I was pissed they didn't go get an ace. They still don't have an ace. Yes, Kyle Bradish had ace-like numbers, but you put him in here in a tough wild card, or in a tough playoff spot. Young guys. And then we see Rodriguez go yesterday, rookie who had a very up and down season, started down, ended up. Tough for a young team, young pitching to get it done against that Texas lineup. And it looks like it's going to be an offensive shootout, which Texas is winning. Looking at this first game today, Phillies at Atlanta, Wheeler versus Fried, and Wheeler's as good as it gets against the Braves. 9 of his last 10 starts versus them quality starts, 5-2, 2.55 ERA. Meanwhile, Fried had a little bit of a blister issue in the backstretch of the season. His last start, September 21st. So you have an extended rust factor from him missing some time. And then you had in the fact that he was roughed up by the Phillies last year in the NLDS, 6 runs, 4 earned. Pitching edge, Wheeler, team edge, a little bit here to Atlanta. Obviously, you have to respect what they've done this year, but Philly's getting hot at the right time again. Got hot in the wild card last year, worked out. I mean, this is Philly or nobody all the way.
You've got to wonder how much the layoff or the bye hurts the teams that get the bye. So let's just take a quick look. Orioles get the bye as the top seed in the AL. Two quick L's to Texas. Houston, they're the only team that has a bye that got to win. They got to win in the first game, a tough first game. Twins, after they had a 5-0 lead, Twins make a little comeback on them, but they get one win. They got to settle for a split. And then over in the NL, both the Dodgers and the Braves, two teams with the bye, both lose the opener. Look, when you're hot, you want to play while you're hot. That's what it's all about. So we had one of the reasons we went against Kershaw. The guy had not gone past 5 innings since June 20th to be exact. Here, Fried is going to pitch his first game since September 20th. Big layoff. You got a pitcher that when he's on, Fried is one of your top lefties in the game. But is he going to be on? At home also, let me pop up the home stats, Ben. Where I got Fried won 4 of his last 5 starts, 4-0, 2.10. 4 of his last 5 starts, but again, remember his last start being 9-21 against the Nationals. In his last 3 home starts, 2-0 with a 4.07 ERA. So you got Fried, hasn't pitched in let's call it 3 weeks now, almost 3 weeks, 18 days, against Wheeler, who's just out there dealing hot at the right time, going down the stretch. Does well against the Braves, did well in postseason last year. Phillies, it's like deja vu. This is what they did last year, coming through the wild card. They beat the Braves, look like they're doing it again. The price is right. It's Philly or nobody.
Yep, Philly or nobody all the way. And then the next one, you guys know where we're going here. It's dog or nothing again with D-backs and the Dodgers. Gallen versus Miller here. Miller, another rookie, pretty good season, especially all considered. But this Dodgers pitching really banged up. I mean, you're missing guy after guy after guy that could be in this rotation right now. Urias, Bueller. You're also missing Gonsolin. So really banged up in the pitching realm. And we saw it with Rodriguez. And Rodriguez for Baltimore the last couple of months was better than Miller. But when you just put a rookie in that environment, especially the pressure you now have as a home team down 0-1, that's a lot of pressure for a start on the rookie. And who's he going up against? Runner-up Cy Young Award winner Zach Gallen, who had a great year again, coming off 3 straight quality starts, had a good start against Milwaukee in the wild card. And that's the difference, too, between a vet and a rookie. What happened with Gallen in that wild card game, gives up 2 runs early, but then settles in. Pitch count went way down, ended up throwing 5 scoreless after that, gets a quality start. That's going to be a big factor here. It's weird read on Gallen because he was roughed up by the Dodgers twice this year in LA, 11 runs in 10 innings. Last year, though, had a couple of gems against them and allowed 1 earned run. So what Gallen are we going to get? He's been worse on the road this season, but he's been better on the road down the stretch, coming off a good road start against Milwaukee. This is Arizona or nothing, and a slight lean to the over here. These Diamondbacks bats red hot, leading the playoffs in homers. And the only way I see the Dodgers getting it done is they go toe-to-toe. They're going to have to get to Gallen, which they have this year. So lean to the over and lean to Arizona. That's a young team playing with a lot of feistiness right now. And you got one of the better pitchers in baseball on the bump at plus money.
Yeah, well, it's them and nobody, but their value's not there enough for me in this one. I need a little bit more to take Arizona. Arizona, 3 straight on the road. And I mean, just relentless on the Dodgers. You just hope that they don't get comfortable with that 1 win feeling. We went into LA to take 1. But yeah, it's got to be Arizona or nobody. Got to give Arizona the pitching edge here, and they're hitting the ball. They've got is it 8 home runs now in the first 3 games?
8 homers in 3 games. Yep.
So yeah, it's Arizona or nobody, guys. Dogs. It's all about the dogs in the baseball, especially at this time of year.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. The Arizona lineup, everybody's getting involved top to bottom. It's not a couple of guys getting it done. That's one knock, I guess you could say, against Minnesota a little bit. Yeah, Minnesota's getting it done, but it's a bit top-heavy in the lineup. So it's just big help when you have everybody getting involved. That's typically what teams like Atlanta and the Dodgers do, just obviously having struggles there in games 1 and 2. We have a couple of games going on tomorrow. We'll get into that tomorrow. And that's a little bit of –
I think, Ben, we talked about the AL East all year long. And with 1 more win, the AL East will be, if Texas has 1 more win, they'll be eliminated. Wild card, Toronto knocked out at Minnesota. Toronto knocked out of Minnesota. Tampa Bay knocked out at home by Texas. Now Texas 1 game away from knocking out the Orioles. The AL East was by far the best division in baseball all year long. This is what it's now. It's how they're pitching now, how they're hitting now. It's now. As we talk about our lines, it's the line, what the line should be today. This is why when a team is hot, or they're in the right matchup, or the other team is cold, that's what makes the line, and that's what makes where we find the value, how the team's doing today. So Texas Rangers could be knocking out 2 of the AL East's finest. Twins knocked out the other one, and maybe the AL West is the best division if you leave out the Oakland A's.
Yeah, you might want to throw the Angels in there too, but the the East, it's pitching really too. I mean, we talk about baseball pitching, but you look at some of the injuries they've had, some of the issues. Obviously, starting the Yankees, they had issues. Montez and Rodon from off the bat, and then for the Jays, you had the Manoah issues, and it just went from being sent down, brought back up, sent back down. Now he's off the map. You had Tampa Bay with McClanahan and Spring, so pitching was an issue the whole way. Baltimore's pitching relatively healthy throughout the year, but it was just they never had that guy. They never went and got it. But guess who went and got it? Texas went shopping at the deadline. They went and got themselves a Jordan Montgomery, who's been very good for them. Houston a little bit. They went and got Verlander back. So it's been the teams willing to go get pitching that's paying off. And, the AL East, nobody went and got pitching at the deadline. Everyone just sat still when it came to pitching.
This is it's been true for 100 years. It will be true the next 100. Good pitching stops good hitting. I don't care what level you're at, little league, major league, everything in between. Good pitching stops good hitting. We've seen that in the first games with Atlanta getting blanked at home for the first time in 2 years. The Dodgers getting shut down by Kelly in that first game. Good pitching always stops good hitting. So Braves got their work cut out for them today. They lose this game too. Man, that'd be a tough one to then go back and sweep Braves. But hey, let's see what happens. Right now, Texas, you got it. We gave this team a death warrant, or at least I did. They were great in the beginning of the year. They were getting pitching that was out of their mind. Eovaldi, great, but then all these guys, they got a little hurt. Their pitching fell off. Their hitting fell off at the end of the year. They dropped 3 or 4 in Seattle to fall from first place. I'm thinking they're going to be knocked out in the wild card round the way they finished the year. And what a bounce back. So tip of my hat to Texas. They've done a great job now in the driver's seat to go on to the ALDS. Still need one more win, though.
Yeah, but I'm going to throw a specific shout out to Texas. How about Eovaldi, who was terrific the start of the year, had all the issues in the back stretch with the injury, didn't look good in September, and then shows up in the wild card. We'll see what he get here against Baltimore, but I mean, just absolutely flipped a switch when it came to the postseason time, which is what you got to do this time of year. Who's going to show up? That is what we have going on the Monday card, guys. A couple of baseball games, no bets there yet. The one Monday Night Football game, no bets there yet. Some NFL bets out, some college football bets out for the week. And obviously, as lines move, as things change, as injury reports come out, more could be added for both today and later on in the week. If you guys want all that information, make sure you guys sign up on the app or the website. Last week, 5 NFL bets, and they were all, I'm pretty sure the last one was sent out by Tuesday or Wednesday, all sent out mid to early week. And obviously a 5-0 week, big NFL season, big weekend last weekend, and those bets coming out now.
And that's how it is sometimes, guys. So this past week, as Ben said, our last bet sent out for the week was New Orleans, New England, under. We went under, I believe it was 40 in that game. Yep. We had bet out early in the week. We had no more other bets sent out, but that was our 5th bet sent out early in the week. The week before, we did not have a bet, I believe, or was it 2 weeks ago?
Week 3.
Into Sunday. So it all depends when it's there, when the edge is there. That's when we'll strike. We sent out 2 college bets so far. Feel there's an edge in those 2 college games. Definitely going to have a bet on at least one more college game, waiting on info on a particular quarterback. If the quarterback is in, we want to jump on that line immediately. If he's out, we'll wait for the line to go against us. So we're still going to bet that particular team. Anyway, we bet when the edge is there. So guys ask, how many bets do you make? And when do you give them out? We don't know how many bets we make. We may make 1. We may make 7. We made 11. I won't use Ben's 4 college this weekend, but I made an official 7 had to beat the bookie best Friday and Saturday and Sunday. This is how it goes. Earlier in the week, I think we had 3 all week leading up to the weekend, and then 7 on Saturday, Sunday. So an average 3, 4 on the NFL, but it could be less, could be more, but an average of 3 or 4. That's what you can expect on the Sunday. When there's an edge, that's when we're going to make a bet, not just on every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday night game, just to have entertainment. When there's an edge, there's a bet. If I get the info that the Packers secondary is intact If I can still catch 2 or better, I'll take the Packers tonight.
That's what we'll be looking on for later today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe below, and let's have another monster week. Been absolutely on fire. Let's make some money, John.
Make some money.